Today's topic, a little bit of a tough one. It's called help. I've done a video previously roughly touching up upon the whole depression, this, that and the other. What that entails is why we ride, and I called it Bikers We Need to Talk. I rode a BMW R1250. I quite like that bike, but what I didn't say at any point during that video was on my way to pick up that bike, there's a bridge, and there was a fella on top of that bridge on the wrong side of the railings looking down, and he wanted to jump. They closed the entire road off. This must have been about half an hour, 15 minutes before I got there. By the time I got there, police were already on scene. They were talking to him. And it's one thing when you hear about this online or you see it on videos and so on and so forth, but when you see it actually in person, and yeah, good old drop like that, that's enough to do some serious damage. And depending on how you fall, it's enough to kill you. It made me genuinely worried for the guy's mental health and also the guy's well-being as well. The police have done an absolutely fantastic job because they did actually calm him down. They got him on the correct side of the barrier. But I trust he's going to get all the help and care that he needs going forward. Whereas I've briefly said before that motorcycle riding is enough to keep a lot of people satisfied, that sense of adventure, the freedom to keep us going. You know, you do your week of work, your 5-day slog, 9 to 5 or whatever it is you do, shift work maybe. But knowing that during the weekend or on your day off you can sit on this bike and you can just go for a ride for a few hours and just get away from everything, that's, for some of us, that is what keeps us ticking. And you know, I will implore you to leave a message down below in the old comment section if you feel you want to express something, you want to talk about something, hopefully something nice of course, but each to their own and such, because when you're in a bad spot, it's one thing to look from the outside in, and there's another thing to actually be in that position of absolute dread. And from what I mean looking from the outside in is you can see other people's experience, and although you might be going through it yourself, you might think, oh, that's not as bad as what I've been put through, or in some cases you think, oh, actually, you know what, this person's had it a lot worse than me, and that makes me feel a little bit better. Whatever floats your boat, basically. But it's nice when you go through the comment section sometimes and there's just a bunch of random people to you, or some people that you've seen commenting on my stuff before, and they basically say, yeah, I went through a rough time, bit of this, that and the other. Try not to go into too much detail if you want. And yeah, you can just read, not a testimony, but sort of life experiences from other people. I find that a very humbling thing. And so if I feel like I'm having a particularly bad time, but I am safe enough to ride the bike, this is the important thing as well, I'm safe to ride the bike. I know when that limit is, and thankfully I've not crossed that many times at all. Oh, nervous laughter. But yeah, I know for some people it's going to be, oh, pies, yes, let's get some of those. Should have read the sign rather than reading pies, but I'll circle back and get some later on. Little things, you know, little purchases like that to keep your spirits up, to keep you happy. If you're in a position to do so, if you've recently been, I don't know, made redundant, or if you're lucky enough to keep your job, for example, then yeah, it's a very strange world that we're living in at the moment, and I want to talk about that as less as possible. I just want to provide something which is probably boring for a lot of people on YouTube these days, but entertaining enough. It keeps your interest, and that's what I want to try and do, create something which is at least interesting. And hopefully by talking about this subject, it's more of a, I'm not trying to mope on the subject. At the same time, I'm not trying to divulge from it, or wait, hang on, words, English, I can do this. I'm not trying to deviate from it too much. I'm just trying to circle around, dip your toes in, circle around, dip your toes in. Like at the beach, when the tide comes in and you're running away from it, rather than building a sandcastle in the sand and watching the tide just go poof. Oh, poor microphone, that's going to have fun with that bit. Hey ho. So yeah, this is where I like to come, and it's just nice to get out and about, and a nice little view like this, and it's great. Takes my mind off things. The road's far too bumpy for me to smash this at 60 mile an hour. I probably could, but I'm not going to, because it's a lot more comfortable and a lot more nicer when you can just gradually go through it. I'm sure that van man's thinking, what the hell is he doing? Never mind. I make myself look like an idiot sometimes, but hey, if there's a nice video out of it, sure, why not? But the cut and dry of what I hope to explain in the next couple of miles of this video before we get to the nice part of this area. Nice part of this area. It's all quite nice, but the nicest bit, undoubtedly. Every problem, well, I'll say every problem, most problems, life being the biggest one of all, is something that needs to be overcome, or you can run away from it, depending on which way you want to go about your business. But life itself can be cut down into sections, and you look at each individual problem as part of the larger problem, and you sort of break it down. You say, right, how do I do this, how do I do that, how do I do that? Cool, right, go. You learn some things along the way, you learn things you can do, what you shouldn't do, so on and so forth. Thank you very much. And you just sort of go from there. What I'm trying to do here is like convey some sort of encouragement. I'm doing a very bad job of it, but I'm not a professional in this sort of sense. Nice bikes, sorry. Yeah, it's just as best I can, I'm trying to be encouraging, because encouragement can go a long way, and depending on what mindset some people are in, encouragement will only set people back more. So it's important to sort of say, right, here's an option. If you don't want to do it, fine. If you do want to do it, fantastic. Let's get to it. And for a lot of people these days, there is a lull in people's lives. Barring everything that's happened, put all that behind you, bollocks to it, doesn't matter. What's happened has happened, what's past is past, and we can continue with the future, can't we? Unfortunately, all the deer are way over there. When I came through here on one evening, there's a lovely sunset, and the sun went down over there. Oh, there's sun over there. The sun went down over there, and there was just a long sort of like sweeping orange glow that came across this entire meadow here, and the deer were just like on that little hill there, and it was so nice, so very nice to just sort of take it all in, take in the beauty of nature. And this is, as I've said a couple of times in previous videos, like, because I paint sometimes when I do paint, there's a lot of colour and imagination which goes into that, and seeing that long orangey sort of glow, that sort of dull lighting across this entire landscape space here, very inspirational, very I don't know if heartwarming is going to be the right term for it, but it was definitely something on those lines. It just gives you that sort of refreshing sense of relief, like, actually, you know what, this is beautiful as all hell, let's enjoy it. And what we can do is hopefully enjoy what we can when we can, without trying to sound like too much for a twat about it. Life's not as bad. It can be better, even if that means moving to the other side of the world and learning an entirely new language. It can be better. It can be worse, but it can definitely be better. And sometimes what you need to do is just get out your comfort zone and do something completely different. That for some people could mean go for a ride, learn the ride, go for a walk or a run. You know, you might think you're fat, ugly, overweight and all that sort of stuff, but you'd be surprised what a run can do for you if you can find a nice little quiet spot and just go for it. So yeah, all the more power to you. Trying to be encouraging, see. But yeah, so for the most part, that's practically all I've got to say on that off the top of my head. If you need help, then there are people that can help you. There are people who are only just a phone call away. And that sounds impossible, but no, it really is true. There are trained professionals on the phone who can actually help you, and help you they can and will. Let's try and make the most of it, but most importantly, if you're watching this video anyway and you have a motorcycle, let's jump on those two wheels and let's have a damn good time, eh? Google map a nice little spot that you can go around for a ride. Maybe go for a ride with a friend and just say, you know what, today it's my day, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna get me a pie, I'm gonna get myself a nice cup of tea or a cold brew, and I'm gonna enjoy today. I'm gonna enjoy today. This is my day. And if that son of a bitch thinks he can ruin my ride, oh, he's got another thing coming, doesn't he? Yes, he does. But of course you make sure that's clear before you go for a ride with your friend, otherwise you might put friendship at risk. So anyway, that's pretty much all I've got to say. So I hope for some of you that actually helps. It helps you put things at rest a little bit more. If it helps people actually make that phone call, then fantastic, whoop-de-doo. And even if it just gets you out on your bike a little bit more, fantastic. Ride safe, drive safe, be safe, walk safe, breathe safe, all that kind of mumbo jumbo in this random, strange time that we're in. And hopefully, we'll carry on and enjoy life to the fullest.